Chelsea starts pre-season with a bang. We just smashed Western Sydney Wanderers 6-4 in Xabi Alonso's first game in charge. João Pedro announced himself with a hat-trick, academy kid shined, and just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Chelsea are now pushing to sign Danny Welbeck, Jordan Henderson, one of Europe's brightest wonder kids. I've got a lot to unpack, but if you are new here, welcome to the channel. If you have been following me for a while, you know the truth. Help your boy get to that 10k subscriber mark. Let's dive into it. What a way to kick off preseason. Xabi Alonso's very first match in charge. We have given the fans down in Sydney a total roller coaster ride at Anchor Stadium. 10 goals, 5 league changes, academic hits, doing absolute beats, and a late João Pedro masterclass off the bench to secure a wild 6-4 win over Western Sydney Wanderers. If anyone thought that preseason under Xabi Alonso is going to be quiet, boring tactical chess match, his debut completely blew that idea out of the water. And look, before we dive into the details, I need everyone to take a deep breath. Let's not overreact or gas this up too much. It's the very first game of the preseason. Main goal right now isn't winning trophies in July, it's strictly about getting minutes into the leg, shaking up the rust, and building up match fitness for the long season ahead. And with that being said, technically Xabi Alonso gave us plenty to unpack, with several of our senior players still resting after the World Cup. We lined up in a 4-2-3-1 that shape-shifted whenever we had the ball. London Emelano was pushing super high and wide from the left, basically giving us a 5 front line in possession. Our attacking sequence looked silk and direct. But because we are pushing so high, our defensive transition looks a bit of a mess. We left too many space open for Sydney to counter, catching our makeshift backline slipping a few times. It's standard preseason rustiness, but we know Xabi Alonso is going to be reviewing those defensive setup before the next game. Despite the chaos, two names completely stole the show for me. That's MacPhee and João Pedro. First off, MacPhee, this 17-year-old, showed absolute zero fear. He played with real intent on the flank, and just 6 minutes in, he lashed onto the ball, direct attacking move, and finished with total composure to score the first official goal of the Xabi Alonso era. Along with Reggie Watson and Reggie Walsh holding down the midfield, the academy boys really stood up. Then in the second half, João Pedro decided to turn the match into his personal playground. Alonso brought on the senior heavyweights around the hour mark, and the level just skyrocketed. And João Pedro didn't just come up, he completely hijacked the game. He set up Jamie Gittin for a goal, and then he went on to score a ruthless 9-minute hat-trick. He slotted one home to make it 4-4, smashed another from the edge of the box off a Palmer pass, and capped it off with a tap-in from the corner. His movement around the box is world-class, and his chemistry with Palmer really looks like a cheat code. At the end of the day, he ended 6-4, a total circus of a match, but a brilliant workout for the squad. Next up on our tour, we take on Tottenham in Sydney this Saturday. Moving on to the latest transfer news, let's take a deep breath and process this, because what we are hearing out of Stamford Bridge right now is absolutely wild. And I have to be honest with you guys, we are moving weird right now. We are a club of extremes. Somehow went from running a Sunday school project with a bunch of teenagers to opening up a care home. We begged the board for some experience, but honestly, when I first saw this, it honestly felt like a prank. Let's look at the absolute madness hitting our timeline. First, on the striker front, according to David Einstein, Chelsea are exploring a move to sign Danny Welbeck from Brighton and Hove Albion. Terms end 2027, and Brighton are aware of interest. Early stage, but optimism on all sides, deal can be done. Quality plus leadership appeal to Alonso. Rizzo Romano asks, Xabi discussed with Chelsea board the possibility of signing an experienced striker. Danny Welbeck is seen as an ideal choice for that profile. Talks are ongoing. Liam Delap, Emmanuel Emega could both leave depending on proposal. Alex Krug and Ben Jacobs are reporting. Danny Welbeck agreed personal terms with Chelsea, while talks between Chelsea and Brighton are ongoing. And if that guy Bex wasn't enough shock for the system, the midfield news is even crazier. They're actually looking at Jordan Henderson. According to David Einstein, Chelsea are working to sign Jordan Henderson from Brentford, top contenders among multiple Premier League clubs eyeing the England international. Eyeing the England midfielder as Brighton ready to grant free transfer. Amicable situation plus healthy relation between 36 years old. Rizzo Romano chipped in reporting. Chelsea lead the race to sign Jordan Henderson as new midfielder. Another surprise for Chelsea. Henderson can leave Brentford on free transfer, and Chelsea are ahead in the race with 2 more clauses for England international. Former Liverpool captain is open to the move. And just to confirm how fast this is moving, Fabrizio Romano came back with a double tap. Chelsea are advancing on both Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson. Personal terms for both almost agreed. Talks underway, experienced leaders coming soon. So how does this make sense? On paper, this doesn't fit the Blueco model at all. But honestly, that's the only good thing about it. This is clearly not a boardroom data-driven move. This is coming straight from the gaffer. And my stance is simple. If Xabi wants them, then I want them. When you really break it down, I think Xabi is highly focused on something we have desperately lacked for years: creating the right culture and mentality. If you truly want to become a stable, dominant team again, you have to understand cultures are set outside the pitch. What happens on the grass for 90 minutes is merely a reflection of the standard set behind closed doors. That is exactly why having those heavily experienced players in our dressing room is so vital. Guys like Welbeck and Henderson aren't going to play 50 games this season. They are coming in to set the tone in the training. They're going to make sure everyone in the squad trains at the right level and the highest intensity. And that ultimately reflects on anyone who steps onto the pitch on match day. They are here to teach the kids how to be ruthless professionals. Look, the dominoes are falling faster than we could react to them. The second we opened the door to bringing in a veteran like Danny Welbeck, we just knew the attack was about to get completely cleared out. Our striker department was way too packed, so this ruthless punch was bound to happen. Check out all the journalists breaking down this mass exodus right now. Starting with Bobby Vincent, Liam Delap, McGew available for the right price. Nicholas Jackson has plenty of interest and clubs open to offer. Emmanuel Emega not for permanency. Alex Cook further adds, it's understood that Chelsea are looking to move on Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson. Kerim Alajbegović is reporting 2 of Delap, Gew, Emega, Jackson expected to be sold or loaned. So MacPhee and Nizar Kansela highlighted, Liam Delap has keen to establish himself under new manager Xabi Alonso, but is increasingly expected to leave. Honestly, this is the exact domino effect of targeting an experienced figure like Danny Welbeck. Our striker room was overflowing with raw talent, but standard potential isn't enough anymore. We need space, and Xabi Alonso is making room with no sentiment attached. Look, I don't care who has to leave at this point. If Jackson, Delap, Gew has to make way so we can get Xabi Alonso vision up and running, so be it. The coach knows what profile he needs to build a title-winning culture. So anything Xabi wants, I want. Period. But moving on, we already knew the board are hunting for experienced profile. But watching this development really puts Xavi's master plan into perspective. We are finally balancing out all the young talent with ready-made battle-tested steel. Fabrizio Romano gave us the update on Maxence Lacroix. Maxence Lacroix completed his medical in London as a Chelsea player. Clubs exchanging documents for £52 million deal completed this week. This isn't just another sign. This is a massive statement about how our transfer policy is shifting. Athletic broke down just how big of a deal this is for us. Maxence Lacroix to Chelsea will be the first time since summer of 2022 that Chelsea has paid a transfer fee for a player aged 26 or over, and £52 million is a significant outlay. A newfound willingness to invest in maturity, experience to balance out the youth is coming into action. The Athletic further adds, Lacroix's more tangible attribute as a player also lined up with what Chelsea has been missing. At 6 feet 2 inches, Lacroix's stature is a major positive. Chelsea has struggled defending set piece and has been outmuscled in 1v1 duels too much. Regarding our other defensive targets they added, Chelsea retained interest in centre-back Jacobo Ramon. Although Lacroix's arrival means Chelsea are more content with what they have in that department. And as I said before, this deal shows the owners are being ambitious as promised. So we might be getting him unveiled soon. Now, on Jacobo Ramon, look, I would love us to sign Ramon as well, but I don't think that's going to happen because we have locked down Lacroix. Between securing already made leaders at the back and sanctioning changes in our squad, we aren't just making routine tweaks, we are completely reshaping our culture from top to bottom. We are shifting our focus back to scoping up the absolute best talent in Europe. The reports surrounding Bayer Leverkusen's wonderkid, Kerim Alajbegović, are heating up fast. Check out the updates landing on our timeline. It's quite possible that Alajbegović transfer to Chelsea this weekend. Chelsea and Leverkusen appear to be close on agreement. The transfer fee is around £34 million, 29.8 fixed plus add-ons of 4.2. Fabrizio Romano explains, Chelsea had made serious bid for Kerim Alajbegović and has now moved ahead of Italian clubs. It's down to the player to decide if he wants a pathway with Chelsea or go to Italy. Look, if we get this deal done, there's no question we have a serious talent on our hands. He's only 18, so he's not going to walk straight in and have an instant impact in the first team. Whether he stays as a squad option, goes out on loan to develop, it's all part of the process. At the end of the day, my view remained unchanged. If Xabi wants him, I like him. Xabi Alonso knows this Bayer Leverkusen setup inside out, so if he's giving his personal green light for this lad, I'm 100% on board. And if you thought you're only making moves on the pitch, wait until you see what you are doing behind the scenes. We just went out and snatched a massive piece of backroom staff. Check out this exclusive breaking update. Austin MacPhee is leaving his role as Aston Villa set-piece coach to join Chelsea. If you are wondering why this is such a huge news for us, look at the numbers he's putting up at Villa Park. According to the Athletic, Aston Villa scored 29 goals from set-piece last season, the joint most across Europe, alongside Arsenal. Look, word on the street is that he's extremely good at what he does. And honestly, set-piece has been a dynamic we have needed to sharpen up for a while. When you connect all these dots, getting elite battle-tested veteran for the culture, spending £52 million on a physical monster like Lacroix, securing top wonder kids, and now poaching one of the best set-piece coach in the world football. I genuinely believe we are preparing for a monster season. Everything is being built with real intent. But moving on, it's wild watching this transfer saga unfold in real time, because Trevoh Chalobah's future has become one of the biggest talking points of our entire window. Here's the latest report on where things stand between us and Cesc Fabregas' side. According to Ben Jacobs, Como has made third bid for Trevoh Chalobah worth £26 million. Chelsea's asking price is £30 million plus $5 million add-ons. Talks to accelerate over the weekend. Fabrizio Romano further adds, Chelsea informed Como new proposal worth €25 million plus 5 for Trevoh Chalobah is not enough to get the deal done. Chelsea wants more than €30 million to sell Trevoh Chalobah and Como also explored different options at centre-back. Chalobah remains keen plus likely to leave. And as well highlights, Chelsea has lowered their request from €35 million to €30 million plus bonus, but the agreement with Como is still missing. In today's meeting, it turns out that those €5 million bonuses required are easy. And the latest update is Como has not given up on Trevoh Chalobah. And I don't understand why Como is pinching over a few million on this thing. Simple. It's either you want Trevoh Chalobah or you don't. We already lowered our asking price to meet them halfway. Yet they are treating this like a market store haggling section. Over £4 million or £5 million. You know Chalobah is likely to leave and is keen on the move. But if Como really wants to build something serious under Cesc Fabregas, they need to stop stalling and cough up the full package and stop dragging their feet. With that said, that's the end of the video, my friends. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.